Hello from Zurich Airport on this rainy December morning. The sun is not out yet, which at this time of day is a clear sign that it's the time of year again for my annual chat with Warwick. Last year, we were in the passenger area of the airport, which was good fun, but this year, we've come up with something even better. We will take you airside, but not just that. Just come along. Guten Morgen. Hi, Dennis. Super. Thanks a lot. So this is it. Our TLD 16, Jet 16. Jet, very important. A Swissport baggage tractor. Of course, electric driven, because sustainability at Swissport is really very important. Let me just perform a quick safety check here. Everything looks good. Firmly attached. So we just check if the battery is fully charged. Windshield wipers we definitely need today. All fine. The lights are on, and I would say we're good to go. Can't wait to see Warwick's face. So let me focus on the road here. You don't want to take any wrong turns and leave your CEO waiting in the rain. All looking good so far. Ah, there he is. Good morning. Warwick.
Fine mode of transport, Christoph.
You found me.
Oh, very good. I mean, this is quite a machine.
Nice little roadster. We are a little bit inspired by Jerry Seinfeld and his Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee show, driving around and having a chat. It's not a Corvette, as you have seen.
No.
21k top speed, but it's fun. The seats are comfy, at least mine. I heard the controller's saved on the second seat, so you're going to have a lot of fun today.
Very good.
It sits well on the road. You can feel every pebble. We're not comedians in cars, obviously, Warwick.
No, we're not.
We're going to be very careful, and just for the record, for everyone, and for your own feeling of safety, fully certified apron driver. So you're in good hands. We're not doing any experiments here.
Not very experienced, but certified.
Not much experience, that's true. Airport's a hazardous environment. There's lots of big machinery, aircraft engines, running aircraft engines, noise, lots of people moving around. Safety is very, very important. It's paramount at Swissport, has always been. But you recently made an extra push for safety. We have leaders teaching safety, talking about safety. We had a massive safety campaign, and you're making us do a safety moment before every meeting, even HR people, comms people, commercial people. Why that?
So look, the most important thing is to try to change the safety culture from the top and to really push out the awareness that, that all of our leaders are absolutely committed to safety. So what we've done is we've developed this 20-second safety moment. So whether it be a meeting with a customer or an internal meeting or our exec meeting or our meeting with shareholders, we always start with a safety moment. And I think what we're trying to get is we're trying to trickle that right down to the bottom. So when you're at a station, they start with a safety moment. Again, everyone's very aware that safety is absolutely critical. The customers I've met where I've started the safety moment, they're very impressed, and it really does catch their attention because others don't do that. And, we are really trying to show that actually, not damaging people and not damaging aeroplanes is absolutely fundamental to the business and is our top priority.
Yeah, very good. So let me be super careful and focused as
let's start with some safety.
Leave ourselves
to our own safety moment.
Into the apron traffic.
Christoph.
Exactly. The safety pre-departure check is performed before I picked you up, so we're all good. Maybe for your comfort, close the window.
Very good.
And we'll set the blinker forward, and we are ready to go.
Right, it's a very busy environment, isn't it? You really, when you're on the ground here on the ramp, you really get a sense of some of the hazards with, aircraft, all the different baggage trolleys, tugs, etc. And there's, just a lot of traffic on the ground here, and you really know why we are so fanatical about people following SOPs, making sure they do their safety checks before they get in the vehicle. When they're in the vehicle, make sure the park brake's on.
it's still driving as you drive a car, but the environment is so different. You have no reference points, no static reference points. You don't have sidewalks, you don't have buildings. It's all sort of an open field, so it's a different feeling.
And the markings are not that clear. I mean, it's raining today. It's quite dull. I mean, it would have been more exciting in the snow, obviously, Christoph. But
that's true. That's what we all hoped for.
But well, yes, not good for the skiing, but or the de-icing. Really gives you a sense, and I think that's for all our leaders, to be able to go and do safety walks on the ramp and around the airport. It really is important for driving that sort of safety culture.
So the first stop, Warwick, is the baggage sorting system here at Zurich Airport. We have 250 colleagues working here in multiple shifts, handling 25,000 bags a day on average. So amazing. Really impressive. Let's go say hi to these guys.
All right. It's about 250 million bags a year we handle.
Around that.
Right. I mean, it's just an amazing number. I do a lot of airport visits, as you know. When you get to meet the people on the ground doing the job, it's an exciting place to work. But of course, it's not for everyone.
So you said it before, 250 million bags a year. We usually make headlines because of bags, not the ones we hope for. But maybe you can shed a bit of light here about the proportions.
Yeah, so I think also there's a very big difference between point-to-point flying. So if you just go from A to B, or whether you're connecting in a big hub. Because clearly the complexity of changing passengers with bags at a big hub, especially when you get air traffic delays, weather delays, etc., it makes it quite complex. But so, I mean, 1 in 1,000 bags gets kind of short ships. I mean, they're not, very rarely are they lost. They're just not on the same planes with the passenger. And then on a hub, there's a little bit more than that per 1,000 bags, but it's still quite minimal. But of course, the impact to the individual, if someone's ever lost your bag, but short shipped is what we describe them as, of course, it's very upsetting when you get to your holiday. And of course, so we're working on technology and digitalization to try and make sure that we can offer a service to airlines that when a passenger does lose their bags, we can find it quickly and we can get it to them as quickly as we can. And I think communication with the customer and the passenger is absolutely critical, because if you know it's coming, when it's coming, where it is,
it's all about transparency.
The stress is taken out, and we need. We're developing, a product together with some of our airline partners to be able to do that for our customers and their passengers.
Very good. So let's move on and find the team here.
The team are they're really proud to work at Swissport, right? Of course, there's always things that we can improve. I think there was mentioning how the rosters work, but overall, I think it's a very impressive operation in the bag room, and the guys do a great job, right?
And regarding the holiday peak, did they mention anything?
Yeah, no. So they just said, look, it has been really, really busy, and they're going to be ready for it. But no, they weren't too worried. I love meeting the people, right?
So. There's our tug. We're parked right out there.
All clear. Right, that was a great visit into the bag room, I have to say. The last 2 weeks has been snowing like crazy. We've been de-icing like crazy, so it was a really a challenging environment for the team. But even today, it's quite heavy rain, and as you can see, it's a somewhat hostile environment to work. But it's the people I've met. It's not everyone's cup of tea to work on the ramp,
sure.
But do you know what? It's a really exciting job if you like working outside. You get addicted to working in the airport environment, because it really is every day's a new day.
So we're now going to cross under Dock A to the courtyard of the airport here.
Yeah. Actually, I know this airport pretty well, right?
Have you actually flown here?
Yes, I have.
Aircraft?
Yeah, no, I have. I've flown a little Sonica here. I was a member of the club, and flying out of Zurich was really interesting.
Yeah.
You got to book a slot.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go. It's
quite special here in Zurich.
Very special.
They do that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do not drive into an EasyJet airplane.
You made a very important point before about why people choose to work here, what they like about the jobs here. From conversations with our colleagues, we gained very valuable insights that allowed us to develop a plan that showed us where and how we can deliver value that really matters. Can you say a little more about that?
Of course, we did obviously lots of work with our teams on the ground to really find out really what mattered to them. And we then developed 3 values which we resonated around all of our people. And the first one was, show you care, right? And this can be used by the leadership or someone in passenger services dealing with a passenger, or someone on the ramp dealing with one of their colleagues. I mean, show you care is a really important value. The second value that we developed was do the right things. And again, we can make sure that someone's bag that's been short shipped, doing the right thing is making sure it gets to the customer, doing the right thing for your colleague, making sure they have the rest, making sure they come to work, helping them with anything that can be applied to doing the right things. Work, training, safety. Okay? And then of course, lastly, and you heard it from the people in the baggage room, is the importance of being part of a team. So the win as a team is a really important part of our 3 values, and shows that we want to be better than everyone, we want to be better than the competition, and we want to win as a team. Together we can do that. This is you can't do this alone, so it really is teamwork. And then lastly, then obviously we developed some really important guidelines for our teams, which was one is we need to pay fairly, we need to have leadership training, and I think for me one of the really important messages is we really have to have great break rooms, clean, well maintained, for people to rest. It's got to have a microwave, it's got to have a place to rest, but it's more important, it's got to be clean, and it shows that we've got respect for our people on the ground that actually do all the work, right? So that's important. And when I go around all the stations around the world, one thing I always go to the break room to check, how does it look?
I think that is indeed key, that you have this place to which you can retreat and recharge your batteries, get warm or cool, in the summertime. We are going to go out. We're going to get cool and wet. Let's walk over to that baggage belt and meet some colleagues. That was good. Good to be inside for a moment.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting day for working outside. Right. I spoke to the team. I mean, the operation's going well. It's a good day, which is nice to hear. So Swiss and all other customers will be pretty happy.
Good. That's good to hear. Our next stop will take us to the load control office. Just fishing for my seatbelt here. At the load control office here in Zurich, we have about 100 colleagues. They're doing all the load sheets for Swiss in Zurich and in Geneva. Obviously, the job that we're going to see next is entirely different from what we just visited here, right? These people are doing highly complex calculations to make sure. Well, you're the pilot. You can talk about pitch and weight and balance.
Indeed, a very important part of flying, making sure the weight and balance is right.
Right.
Quite critical, in fact.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So we'll go see those guys, have a little chat there, get warm, get a cup of coffee.
Be great. I would love a cup of coffee.
Good. All right, then ready to go?
Yep, ready to go. Doing well, Christoph, for an early stage ramp drive.
So we're sitting and driving in an electric TLD Jet 16. Swissport has a very ambitious environmental agenda. Last year we announced the commitment to increase to 55% the share of electric vehicles. This year you doubled down on a commitment to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Can you share a bit more about what drives these commitments and maybe some concrete measures?
Climate is clearly the most challenging issue of our time, right? Setting an ambitious target for net zero is absolutely critical. And the time is now that we are setting the standards as sector leader in aviation.
One might say 2050, it's not exactly now. Is there anything you can say about the steps that take us there? Are we doing something more immediate?
Of course we're doing something more immediate. We're on the emissions, there's a scope 1 and a scope 2. Scope 1 is what we're directly involved with. Scope 2 is our suppliers. So today we're sitting in this electric tug. In Zurich we have 54 of these electric tugs.
Okay.
In Finland, for example, we've effectively electrified 95% of our forklift trucks.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So we are taking enormous steps to invest in environmentally friendly e-equipment around the world. We have got a very serious commitment, and we aim to have the emissions reduced by 42% by 2032.
By 2032, that's pretty soon. Yeah, so
Indeed.
That's a big target, and it looks like we're already working towards that. Very good. This guy is certainly fun to drive, but now we will go see our colleagues in the load control office and finally get that cup of coffee.
Yeah, great. Good job, Christoph. Left, right, left, left.
We all do what we're best at, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll probably need some driving lessons on the ramp to keep up with you.
So we are here at the load control office of Swissport at Zurich Airport. Beautiful view. I'm a little envious, I have to say.
Better than the Zurich office. Yeah.
A bit better than the Zurich office. Last year at this time, we looked back at the first 9 months post-COVID. You talked about how the business was normalizing, things looked normal again. You said the glass was half full, with a trend to filling up further. Now it's a year later. Where do you see Swissport in 2023?
So look, I mean, Swissport in 2023, we've really secured our global leadership, right? We're going to handle over 200 million passengers. We're going to handle nearly 4 million flights this year. So we are really the market leader. And moreover, we really have transformed this business into a very customer-centric business. We really focus on our operational metrics, starting with safety, and then obviously the customer metrics of on-time performance, first bag, last bag, the cargo performance. So we really have done, I think, a fantastic job in 2023. Of course, we've had the odd hotspots, and there's still some growing pains for some of the countries that have come out of COVID late. But I think, on balance, we've really invested and delivered. We've additionally, setting ourselves up for further development, we invested significant money on digitization. We've launched our employee app around the world, so we'll be able to talk to, communicate with all of our 60,000 plus employees. We're investing in an HR system and an effectively recruitment system. And we've got some other technology in the back office and some innovation that we're working on around baggage and baggage services, including complaints handling, etc. So lots of focus on customer, people, and making our business much more efficient. So really exciting times. We've also been recognised as the best handler of the year by the Stats Times. We've also done effectively some acquisitions and deals. So we've announced a new partnership in Saudi. We acquired a cargo business in Germany, and a lots more in the pipeline. So really, I think 2023 is seen as a much more stable year. Of course, we've had economic events and geopolitical events like the Ukraine and the Middle East situation. But I think Swissport powers through, and I think we're quite excited about 2024.
Very good. So it really does look like it's all coming together, rock solid base in place, and we're accelerating and speeding up.
I mean, we really are making Swissport brand, effectively a brand that can be trusted by our airline partners to deliver. And when we do have issues, we are very focused and customer-centric. We get on it and we fix it. So, of course, and there's never a dull moment because there's always sort of a million things happening every day.
Right, which makes it fun.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned customer centricity, which is still a very big focus for us. Of course, immediately NPS, station scorecards spring to mind. What are the trends here?
So, we introduced our NPS, which is one question every week. We ask our customers to tell us how we did last week. Introduced it when I joined 2.5 years ago. So we've got masses of data. And I think, the response rate is like over 80%. And we've continued to see our NPS results improve month on month, and it's a fantastic indicator. I'm passionate about making sure we communicate with our customers, we ask them what we think, and we then obviously give them feedback. So the NPS is really important, and we will continue to do that religiously. Balanced scorecard, basically we review and measure each station with a balanced scorecard. So you've got safety, on-time performance, attrition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and what we're seeing is we then grade them, platinum, gold, silver, bronze, red. And what we're seeing is the whole of our universe of airports is moving up, right? So we're seeing much less red stations, much more platinum and gold stations. So that kind of transparency and oversight for everybody to see is leading to just better performance.
Yeah.
So very happy with that.
And it sounds a bit like this is the first year where you can really start to harvest a bit.
Absolutely.
The seeds that we planted 2 years ago.
I mean, 2 years ago we were building the foundations, and now you're seeing, you've got data, you've got, you can measure everyone against everyone else. And I think, it really does invigorate people because, of course, they want to be at the top.
Yeah. Well, it's very good to hear that the commercial results are also coming. Now, turning to 2024, what do you see? I know it's a difficult question, but how do you see the year that we're about to start?
So listen, we've won a lot of new business this year. We're retaining a lot of our customers. We've become obsessive about our people and about our leadership and how they treat our customers and the passengers. So I think we're seeing some really good positive trends from the Swissport point of view. And if we have a problem, we are literally committed to solving these issues around the world. And we have top level, everyone is committed to getting it done. So I see the work ethic in Swissport is fantastic. I think looking at to 2024, I mean, it's a crystal ball. I think we are in very uncertain times. I mean, we still have the overhang of the Ukraine-Russia war. We have Israel and Gaza now in the Middle East. And we've obviously got quite a lot of business in that region. We've got interest rates still pretty high. There's still quite a lot of wage inflation. We've got potential downturn in the economy, certainly in the developed economies where there's kind of potential inflation coming down. Maybe there's and the employment situation is becoming obviously easier from an employee point of view. So indications that there's definitely a slowdown in the economic environment. Of course, how does that affect Swissport? We will have to adjust our business obviously to the capacity in the market, but I think we're well set up for that, and I see a very bright future for the trends for 24 and beyond actually that's obsessed with our people.
That's very positive to hear, also looking out to the new year. And this actually almost brings it to the end of our tour here at the airport. We have a pushback waiting where an aircraft is going to be pushed out to taxi and take off. That's the last visit that we have.
Very good. Let's go. It's still raining.
All good.
I love going in the pushbacks.
All on time.
On time. I mean, on time, and really was a great experience to see our guys in action, and ladies obviously, but Alessio did a fantastic job. And we do this across 300 airports. We've got 20,000 people working every single day in our business. And you can't thank them enough. I mean, all weathers, rain, shine, snow, hot weather. Yeah. Today it's rain. But very brilliant. And I can't thank people enough for all their hard work, I have to say.
Wonderful. I knew you really wanted this pushback.
Yeah, I love doing the pushback.
After pushback, we now have to head back. Our very entertaining and fun year-end tour comes to a close. Thank you very much, Warwick, for making that possible.
Thank you, Christoph, for organising it all. It's been I love meeting the people. I love my base visits, and it's really been really energising for me.
Wonderful. So let's close this as we started with focus on safety. I want to get you back
exactly.
in one piece.
On. Exactly.
We survived.